Welcome back to Season 11 of Indie Rockers Ball. Man, I miss being here in the studio.
It feels good to be back. We're all messed up and ready to start fresh with a great episode today.
I'm Flora.
And I'm Jess.
Let's get started. Conan Gray is back with a new single titled Overdrive. Having dropped on February 19th, 2021, the song rocketed to over 1 million streams in just 2 days. The release was closely followed by an accompanying music video on February 22nd. Conan Gray is best known for his song Heather, which went platinum and became a smash hit through TikTok last year. However, Conan first got his start back in 2013 on YouTube, where over the years he regularly released weekly vlogs, song covers, original music, and eventually music videos. In November 2018, after several singles, he finally released a full-length EP titled Sunset Season. From there, Conan saw a rapid rise to fame, going on his first national tour and even performing on Late Night with Seth Meyers. After that, he would release his first full-length album titled Kid Crow in March 2020. Since then, Conan hit the mainstream, has gone viral on TikTok, and the rest is history. Now, I'd like to offer some of my personal thoughts on Conan's new music and the direction he seems to be taking with this new single. As someone who has followed him since early 2017, I'm very happy that he's seen the success that I always hoped he would. However, Conan has a beautiful voice, and it kind of breaks my heart to hear essentially all of its personality stripped away by overproduction and muffled by excessive amounts of synths. The vocals on this track were barely recognizable as Conan at first, and to put it honestly, this song could have been released by any synth-laden 80s nostalgia sound-alike out there today. What drew me to Conan's music in the first place were his atmospheric, genuine, and heartfelt lyrics that were so easy to connect with. Great examples of this would be some of his earliest songs like Grow, Generation Y, Idletown, or The Other Side. But unfortunately, Overdrive possesses no such substance with which to connect. Instead, the single offers only 3 minutes of hollow dance pop platitudes about catching feelings, being reckless, and driving fast that might as well have been written for Troye Sivan's next summer hit. In terms of sound, it was clearly manufactured to ride the coattails of songs like The Weeknd's Blinding Lights, minus any storytelling aspects. More on Conan Gray after Music Lesson with Jet.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Music Lesson. This week, I'm gonna be teaching you the song Mouthful of Cavities by Blind Melon. All right, so the song is gonna be in standard tuning, so it's really only gonna be made up of 2 different parts. So you've got the one that you basically play throughout most of the verse and part of the chorus, and then you have one that's played sort of in the bridge. It plays in between each intermission. So you're going to start off playing a regular E minor chord, which is just pointer and middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A and the D. So you're going to play that twice. So you're going to go. And then you're going to do basically the same thing, but it's going to be your middle on the 3rd fret of the A, and it's going to be your pointer is in the same position. So you're going from like that. It's almost like how you would play the top part of like a C add 9, something like that. So you go like that, and then you're gonna hammer on with your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B, the low B. So it's gonna be something like this. It's gonna be like, so that's like 4 or 5 with the B on. So it's, and then 3 with it off of it. So, and then this is the kind of the tricky part, and I think he plays it slightly differently, but as long as it's close, it should sound like the song. So you're gonna hammer on and off. So it's gonna be on the G, and it's gonna go from 5 to 4 to 3 to open. So it's gonna be like this. So it's gonna be like, that. So it's gonna go. That's what that finger's doing. You're still doing that. You're still holding this up here, that C. So that's basically, I'll do it slowly. That's gonna be like, and then hammer on the 2nd fret of the D. So, and then you go back to, you do this again. So you go E minor, that C again, and then you play it twice and you slide it up to where your middle's on the fifth. So that's real quick. So it's going to transition and go. And then you're going to hold like an E minor position where you're just going to put it can be whatever you want. I do middle and ring on the fifth fret of the G and B. And you're going to slide that up twice. So it's going to go like that. So that all together should sound like this, and that is what's played through most of the chorus and verse. So it's going to be. So that's like that. So once you get to the bridge, it's going to be basically, it's going to be like an A minor, but slightly different. So you're going to have your first two on the second fret of the D and the G, like you would normally play an A or an A minor. And then, so what you're going to start with is you're going to slide up. So you're going to go from the first fret to the second. So it's going to be, and then you're going to hammer on with the third right here. So it's going to be kind of like how you did with it during the first part of this. So it's going to be. You do it like that, you do it twice, and then you're gonna do the same thing like how you're doing with this. You're gonna do it down here. So you're gonna do the bottom two strings, and you're gonna go from third to fifth fret. So it's gonna be, but you're gonna play the rest of it with it. So that sounds like. It's gonna be that quick, because then how it's gonna end is it's gonna do the same thing, slide into the, like the A minor. Play it like that, and then you're gonna, instead of keeping this pointer, you can keep it there or take it off, it doesn't really matter. I like to keep it there just because it feels more comfortable, but you're gonna put your ring on the third fret of the D, and it's gonna end with you pulling off. So it's gonna basically be like this. Yeah, that difference, like, and then it's gonna go 3-2 open, so kind of like that. Back into the chorus. And then basically the only thing you do at the end is, instead of playing both, like how you play in the chorus, at the end of the song during the last verse when they're singing out, the only thing you're going to play is the. That's what it's going to be instead. All right, so I'll play that all together. It should sound a little something like this. There you have it. That's basically how to play Mouthful of Cavities by Blind Melon. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you next week.
Welcome back. Now, some of my final thoughts on Conan Gray, The Weeknd, and other artists. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy both Troye Sivan and The Weeknd's music, and if Overdrive were released by any other artist, I probably would have blasted this song in my car this summer without a question asked. Now, Conan is quoted as saying that Overdrive was written purely for escapism in the midst of hard times, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, my issue is that music in the vein of this 80s-inspired trend that we're seeing at the moment has grown increasingly homogenous. And the fact that this new single was released by Conan Gray, of all people, made me pause. Obviously, artists change and mature over time just like everyone else, and their music evolves with them. And I understand Conan inevitably leaving behind bedroom pop ballads that lament themes of growing up and escaping small-town boredom. But I would have hoped his capacity for genuine lyricism would have matured right along with him, rather than fading away into the background. And that is what's appeared to happen on some of his more recent releases on Kid Crow and Fake featuring Lauv. At the end of the day, Conan Gray has always been a unique artist brimming with potential, and I can only hope that we'll have the opportunity to see him express that fact in his future releases.
Songwriter William Salter is well known for collaborating with Bill Withers and Ralph McDonald on the popular love song Just the Two of Us. The song is performed by Grover Washington Jr. and was released on his album Wine Light in 1980. William Salter, who is now 84, spoke with his 25-year-old granddaughter Jada and NPR about how he discovered his musical talents. In this conversation reported to NPR, Jada told her grandfather that she always remembered him humming whenever she would visit him. "Even when we're eating, you hum in between the bites," she said, "and that is a huge part of what I think of when I think of Grandpa, your sound." During this conversation, Jada also asks William why he chose the bass as his instrument. He says that in a middle school music class, it was the only instrument that no one picked. All that was left were 3-string basses standing against the wall. "It was either that or I didn't do anything, so I took what you get," he said, "but I had no complaints." Pop artist Billie Eilish will be hosting a live stream premiere of her new documentary on February 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The documentary, titled The World's a Little Blurry, will be available on Apple TV+. The live stream itself will be free and available for streaming on the Apple TV app or the Apple Music app. But Android and PC users, don't worry. You won't miss out because Eilish will also be hosting the live stream on her YouTube channel. It also seems that the documentary will be in select theaters on February 26th. As of recent, Eilish has also released a new song, Lo Vas a Olvidar, with artist Rosalia. The song made an appearance on the show Euphoria. It seems Eilish has been busy since she is also releasing a book on May 11th. Will you be watching the live stream? If so, let us know your thoughts on our social media at Indie Rockers Ball. All good things must come to an end, and it seems long-running EDM pair Daft Punk has finally broken up after 28 years of making music. On February 22nd, the duo dropped an 8-minute-long video titled Epilogue. The video opens with a shot from their movie Electroma, which was released in 2006. The two are seen in their iconic helmets and suits walking through a barren desert. The distance between the two grows, symbolizing the separation. A countdown begins, and then there is a montage of the variations of the Daft Punk logo starting from 1993 to 2021. There's been no official statement on why the two decided to separate, but it is no question that Daft Punk has impacted dance music today. What do you guys think of the breakup of such a long-running and classic EDM duo? Let us know on our social media at Indie Rockers Ball or in the comments below. Wow, Flora, thank you for the background on Conan Gray's new song. I think it does seem to be a step away from the typical Conan we know.
Oh yeah, like I said, I get what he was going for, but I hope his future music holds the uniqueness that once captivated me and doesn't go down the path of stereotypical pop.
Well, maybe this is a stepping stone to the future growth of Conan. Also, do you have Just the Two of Us stuck in your head now too?
Well, now that you mention it, I probably will for the next few days.
Well, maybe hearing about some Daft Punk on Rockers Review will keep us from singing it.
Just the two of us.
Here's Rockers Review.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new season of IRB, and with that comes Rockers Review. So I'm joined with Jet here. We're gonna talk about the breakup of music duo, EDM legacy.
Yes,
That is Daft Punk.
that is true.
28 years together, making some of the most smashing hits that you would find in the EDM genre.
Yes.
And then they're gone. They're gone. This is breaking news.
Yeah,
Kinda
happened today.
disheartening.
Yeah, it happened as the day of recording. It happened just today.
Yeah.
So,
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I'm sad, but you know, as it has to happen eventually for all bands. I just think that, yeah, I don't know. I think that they were very much an influence in the electronic world, whether they realized it or not. They didn't have like a whole bunch of smash hits, but they did enough, and their influence is definitely there when you look at other artists like Deadmau5 and Skrillex and like all them guys.
Marshmello, some of
yeah.
the bigger names in EDM.
They were
Now
first to
that
do
did
it.
surprise me though. That I looked and I was like, 28 years.
Yeah, it
Really,
doesn't
like,
seem that long. Yeah.
It really doesn't seem that long. Like it's crazy to think that they were around that long. Like I honestly thought they stopped making music a while ago.
Yeah.
But like hearing this, it like you said, they had a ton of influence on, you know, their genre, and it honestly helped these artists to branch out. Like we were just talking about. We didn't really remember a lot of their songs, but then, you know, you started talking about them and everything just started, the wheels started turning.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we just talked about how they did the score for Tron Legacy.
Yeah, true.
Like, imagine going up to a duo of two Frenchmen with giant masks or helmets on and going, you guys want to do a score for a full-length movie? Like they've made some great hits, done some great collaborations. Can you think of any like off the top of your head that were really good?
Yeah. They had the ones that I heard the most radio play were they did the remix of Kanye's song "Stronger" that I heard all the time. They did the song "Pharrell Get Lucky." They did a lot of their older ones are sort of like, I don't know if they're sleeper hits, but they're when you remember them, you're like, oh yeah, I heard that all the time. And that's ones like Around the World and like the other one's escaping me right now.
The Funk was the one.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of One More Time. That's the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah, I honestly thought about their influence on video games, specifically sports games. Like how many games, like growing up, I always played NBA. Like NBA 2K was like my jam.
Sure.
And I can still remember, I think it was NBA 2K 13, 14, 16, 18, and 20 all had at least one Daft Punk song.
Yeah.
So they reached out just beyond music. Like their music, I think it's pretty easy without having as many lyrics as some other songs, using it for backing tracks. Like their music was quite literally everywhere.
Yeah.
But one of the things I always remember is, how there was the trend back in the day when YouTube was just starting out and people were doing they put the lyrics to Stronger on their fingers or on body parts, and they were like putting them out.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, like it was like harder, better, faster, like they were moving their thumb out, finger out, pinky out, whatever.
That's old.
It was crazy, but that memory kind of unlocked in my head.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically how much of an influence they were on some other artists, like you were saying, Deadmau5, Skrillex, Marshmello. I see a lot of like these masked up guys on stages. It wouldn't have been, if not for Daft Punk, a lot of these guys probably would have been like still just making music, you know, in a basement somewhere, not sharing it anywhere.
Other various DJs too, like I'm sure like David Guetta and like all them guys too.
And they all pull influence, if not even just from the look. Like I could imagine when they first hit the scene, just the craziness that was just guys in helmets just up on stage in unison.
Just having a good time, It all ties into that Euro pop like wave that was like really popular in the 90s, and then it all just kind of, I think the music, the reason it's so sustainable is because the music is so accessible and it's easy to listen to. Like you don't have to think, like some people do like stuff that makes you think a lot, but I think for the casual like listening audience, like I think it's just something that you can put on and like not worry about it too much and have a good time.
It's kind of mindless.
Yeah, especially in like a bar or like party sort of setting.
Yeah, so. It's very, the music will match the vibes. You don't have people singing along to it. It's just enjoyable. Yeah. And I think that says a lot about the influence and the far reach that these guys had, specifically with how EDM music is, and EDM artists are doing these collaborations with people you would have never thought about. Like for example, Marshmello doing stuff with like Kane Brown and all these country artists and stuff. Like it's crazy to think, if not for doing collaborations when they collab with Kanye, Pharrell Williams, like all this stuff, it all leads somewhere. And I thought that was crazy to see. Like I said, I thought they stopped making music a while ago, but when you really think about it, they didn't have to make any music. The hits were already there, and people are still using those to build. Yeah. So I think that their music, like you said, was incredibly accessible, and I think that's really what they'll go down in history for.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, at the end of the day, they can hang their hats on having a long career and being able to work with a bunch of different artists and being pretty successful in most of the world. So I mean, even if circumstances were different right now, I don't think that they would have to, keep up what they're doing if they wanted to for very long. So I think it's totally fine if they wanted to call it a day, Yeah. But it's just kind of sad to see them go, I guess.
Yeah, everybody's got to hang it up at some time. And I think that segues us into kind of getting the outro here. Everyone's got to hang it up at some time. So, it was great to see the legends that were Daft Punk have a great established 30-year almost career. Yeah. And just like most great things, we got to hang it up here. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Well, guys, it's that time again. New year, new music.
Gotta love it. What artists do you want to see releasing music in 2021?
I'm kind of hoping for something from Harry Styles, but I'm not going to put my hopes up.
That would be so cool. I can't wait for new music and hopefully live shows to resume this year.
We can only hope.
Well, another episode down. What a way to kick off a new season.
I couldn't agree more. Being back in the studio is definitely refreshing, to say the least.
It definitely feels good to be filming again. I can't wait to see what this semester brings.
Without a doubt. Make sure you follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube to rewatch all of our episodes from our past seasons.
Until next time, rockers, see ya.
Dude! That was going so well.
Yeah.
Good. During this conversation,
God.
booyah, baby.
The tongue, the teeth, and the lips. Bleh. What artists do you want to see releasing music in 2021?
You can't put that on me. I don't know what to say.
Answer and/or make a prediction. I made a typo.
What the Withers? What did I say? I promise I'm not dyslexic. How the
No. Okay. What artists? What artists?
What are these?
What are these?
What